Hey class, how you doing? This is Angel Ortega, and this is my setup demonstration for TNA. That is a tonsillectomy, as long as with an adenoidectomy for surgical procedures. 140, I think. Sorry if I got the class wrong. But anyways, so I have chosen tonsillectomy and adenoidectomy. A little bit about the procedure I chose. The whole purpose of a TNA is done is to remove both tonsils and the adenoids when child has both breathing and swallowing problems. So it's really simple. The surgeon can reach the tonsils and adenoids by simply opening the mouth. So, and there's no incision cuts needed on the outside of the skin. It also helps to so with that being told, that's my first setup procedure that I've chosen. So right now what I want to do is I want to show you my setup. But before I do that, I want to let you know, Mrs. Graham, that I have gloves, proper attires on, all the way down to my shoes. So, all right, let's get started. So this is my setup here. This is my setup. So didn't really have a lot of options for tools, so I did the best that I could with everything. So now that you got a good look of what I got here, let's go through a little bit of everything. So right quick, right here, I want to start with a laryngeal mirror. So that's it right there. So it looks like a mirror that they put in the mouth. So I'll give you a little bit about the laryngeal. The laryngeal mirror is a round-handed instrument with a small rounded mirror on the end. Mirrors are they're also available in different sizes. The use is practically for visualization of the pharyngeal and the laryngeal areas from the back of the throat. A little bit of instrument insight. The mirrors may fog when inserted into an oral cavity, so the mirrors are dipped into some anti-fog solution or possible warm water. So if you're ever handing this instrument to a surgeon, always handle first. So now we move on to let's see where are we going. So let's move on to the schnitt. The schnitt tonsil forceps. Here they are here. As you can see, they keep trying to get a good view here. They got some serrations. I think we're getting there. Perfect. There we go. Good serrations on both sides. So a little bit about these. So the other, nicknames: Adson forceps, Schnitt forceps, fancy clamp. The categories under clamping and occluding. Description about it: the jaws of the Adson tonsil Schnitt forceps may be curved or straight. They have horizontal serrations running half of their length, ending in fine blunt tips. The shanks are longer than those of a cryo or Kelly forceps. These are your shanks. That's your box lock there, jaws, tip, and a ratchet. The uses for this is these are used for clamping small vessels in deep wound and for holding tonsil sponge. So there you have it, these bad boys. So when you are giving these to a surgeon, you always make sure handle first for safety, so gloves don't rip. And so the next thing I want to talk about is, I know I don't really have anything here, but the closest I could find, so I didn't have any pictures, is, as we would find in my book, is a tonsil snare. I don't know if you can get a good shot at that. You see that? There we go, a tonsil snare. So a little bit about this tonsil snare is, it is a handle grip that attaches to a metal cannula and the inner sliding rod. The inner rod has two small holes at the tip in which the snare wires are loaded. The uses for the snare wires placed around the base of each tonsil and the handle is squeezed and the wire is withdrawn into the cannula, severing the tonsil tissue through a guillotine action. A little bit of the instrument inside real fast. When loading the snare wire is exposed to rod tip by opening the handles. The bent ends of the snare wire are then threaded into the holes. A slight compression of the handle then pulls the rough ends of the wire into the cannula, creating a loop. Wires become twisted and compressed after use. Therefore, they should be discarded and replaced with new ones. So that was it. So I think we have another mouth gag. So this one is this one's a McIver mouth gag. So pretty much the tongue blade is in place, retractors ready to use. Set always comes with small, medium, or large tongue blades. So the purpose for this instrument here is it props the mouth open, commonly used for tonsillectomy procedures. So it looks like it's got a tongue display in there too as well. So now we move on to the adenoid curettes. So there's like a bunch of these, and I think like they all serve the same purpose pretty much. So these are for removing adenoid tissue. You know, these are adenoid curettes. So, but we can go dive a little bit deeper. I think one of the ones that are used too is Barnhill adenoid curettes. A little bit, these are rounded handles with curved open frame and contain a cutting edge. So these are pretty much used, they are used for removing adenoid tissue via a scraping action. So I'm assuming, so imagine that being a tip, just, and always make sure too that you handle these instruments, handle first to the surgeon, okay? A couple other things I was able to find too here. So here I found a herd pillar retractor, that right there. This thing is dissection and retraction during tonsil and adenoidectomy procedures. So that's that. So we're moving on up. So now we move to the Alice, like my second favorite instrument. There she is. So another names for it: tonsil grasper, tonsil forceps. It's under grasping and holding. So a little description here is these are finger-ringed instruments with one open ring, long shanks and curved jaws, and intertwining fine teeth at the tip. So let me see if I can get a good see. Do you see the tip there? There we go. Beautiful. So again, before, when you hand these to the surgeon, always open, handle first, like this. So the use for the Alice here. So the use here is they're used to grasp and hold tonsil tissue for removal. A little bit of insight on that. The one ring is open so that after the tissue is grasped, the suture may slide down the instrument and secure tissue. So, so now we're moving on. So, and then I have another one here. So I have here for you another retractor. It's called a Lothrop uvula retractor. So a little bit about this one is a little description is it is an angled retractor with a looped handle and a flattened end with the lip at the distal end for retracting the soft palate. Its use is practically for retracting the uvula and soft palate. So let me see. So we're moving on. Yeah, we talked about that one already. I just want to make sure I cover everything. So then let's go over to my section over here. So we have a little Yankauer suction tip for suctioning in case things need to be done. We also have a Fraser. They come in different sizes. That's that right there. So then I got my sterile towels in case it's needed. I got another disposable Yankauer set with suction. I got a 10 cc millimeter syringe. I've got my irrigation bulb in case I need it. I got my lab sponges. I got my Raytac in case these are all needed. So I think there's one more thing I need to talk about. And I believe that's this guy right here. So this is called a suction cautery. What else goes with this device? Suction line is attached to the device and goes to the out to the wall suction thing. So this is pretty much this is used for a tonsillectomy and an adenoidectomy. A little bit about it is it's a single-use insulated monopolar suction tip with a relief hole on the hand grip and with a monopolar cord and stylet. Its uses is pretty much just for removing the tonsils and adenoids by cauterizing tissue and at the same time suctioning fluid, debris, and plum from the operative site. A little bit about the little insight about this. So it just says during use, the tip may become plugged with charred debris. This can be remedied by inserting the stylet and wiping the tip with the moistened sponge, and dispersive pad must be placed on the patient before use. So there you have it. So that is my setup for my mock setup for procedure number 1. That is a TNA tonsillectomy along with adenoidectomy. So a little bit about it. This was kind of difficult. It was kind of hard finding, but I wanted to try to combine both procedures together. So I did the best I could. So Mrs. Graham, thank you again. And class, have fun recording. Thank you.